Can't do it.
The segment most likely to get someone suspended, fired, or at least spending the night on the couch.
I will tell you a deeply personal story because I have a tendency to overshare.
Outrageous. Nastiest you've ever done. I'm talking about nasty.
Wow.
Mary Screw killed Donald Trump, Matt Spiegel, or Jimmy Butler.
I'm not going to answer that. It's stupid.
Which category do you click on that would horrify your life?
What's the question? I feel like this is like a setup.
I have to answer your question. You can't do it.
I don't know.
You shouldn't do it.
It's a very negative question.
I have a question. Yes. In these conjugal visits, you can have sex with women?
I don't know that I really want to answer that.
What's your question?
I'm your huckleberry.
I'll answer the question.
This is bad radio and it's not appropriate.
Why do we never get an answer when we're knocking at the door?
Can't do it.
312-644-6767. Normally at 11:40. We're doing it at 10:40 today. It is Can't Do It on the Spiegel and Parkins show. We'll have Carl Edwards and Ian Happ with us at Del Frisco's in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Got some Cardinals weirdness to discuss as well relating to the Cubs that we'll get to at the top of the hour, if not before. But here we are.
One question to one person, no follow-ups. You're playing for a free Sport Clips haircut. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy. Let's go to Jeff on the north side. Jeff, who's your question for?
Hey, what's up? It's for Danny. Danny, I'm wondering, I know you've since resolved this, but I know when you were first there at the Score, there were people who refused to work with you, and I want to know who the people who previously refused to work for you or work with you are.
Asked and answered, right? That's been discussed.
Has it?
That was a very popular week 1, week 2, week 3 question.
Has it developed?
No, and now at this point, I believe everyone will work with me. But the most notable thing, I guess, is that I also do solo stuff when you're not here. But I will work with anybody, and I believe, unless no one's telling me something, that everybody will work with me. But that question has been asked and answered.
I cannot answer or give input, regardless of what I know.
I really don't want to rip off that Band-Aid again, just because my day-to-day at the office has actually been going very well. Let's go to Jason in Burlington. What's up, man? You're on the Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
Hey, how's it going, guys? My question's for Spiegel.
Yes, Jason, what's happening?
All right. If you knew you wouldn't get caught, who is one woman that you work with that you would have an affair with?
I can't do it, Jason. Congratulations. Enjoy yourself a free haircut at Sport Clips. That's, I will say this, by the way. I'm thoroughly convinced, having reached this point in my life, that I do not have the emotional compartmentalization capable of carrying on such things.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be complicated.
Oh, it's just
you got a lot of balls in the air.
That's the thing. Literally. And if I did so, literally have those in the air, just being able to live my life. It's too hard, man.
Yeah,
it's too hard to live a massive lie like that and try to have an actual relationship.
Let's go to John in Carroll Stream. John, you're on Can't Do It. Go ahead.
My question's for Danny.
Okay.
Who irritates you the most on your wife's side of the family?
Who irritates me the most? My wife's going to be here at Del Frisco's in about an hour, so I'm glad you asked that question now. Let's see here. She has a cousin. Her family is pretty Catholic. Both her and I not religious at all, so in some ways we're both disappointing to the extended members of our family. She has a cousin who, when he found out that I was Jewish, treats me like I'm an alien who's landed from outer space.
Oh,
and
you are the rare, interesting.
Yeah, I am the interesting,
you are a species.
Mythical Jew. Asks me questions about which parts of the Bible and Torah or whatever I think the difference is and what I pay attention to.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
actually, because he wants to, he's curious.
There's the inquisitive part, but then there's the how different are we? You know what I mean? There's questions along that line. And, her grandmother, who is still with us, probably not the most thrilled about the interfaith stuff. And this is at Christmas when we go to the family, he's just openly asking those questions. And all 3 times we've interacted, the conversation has only been about my Judaism and what makes me different.
Gotcha.
So he probably annoys me the most.
I had a father-in-law who asked me to speak at his Methodist men's club.
Yeah.
And explain just talk about Judaism and do a Q&A. I thought it was the coolest request, and we had a great conversation.
That's great.
In the basement of the church in Southern Illinois.
I had a bar mitzvah. I was confirmed. I wouldn't feel that was the other thing. Like, he was super into religion.
Yeah, man. So were these guys.
But I just don't feel like I'm qualified to be your resident, like, Ask a Jew. Like, I don't know. Like, why do we eat horseradish and gefilte fish? I don't know.
Maybe that can replace Can't Do It next week.
Yeah,
we need to ask a Jew.
Ask a Jew. And her parents are fine, and we've moved away, so don't see the in-laws very often.
I did research so I could do that.
You did?
Do that talk. Yeah.
Well,
it was good.
When we go back to Western Kansas for Christmas this year, I'm going to have to read like the Wikipedia of
I'll give
Judaism.
you my stuff.
Yeah,
I'll give you my notes.
That'd be helpful. 312-644-6767. We've already given away one prize. Jess and Skokie's on Can't Do It. Jess, who's your question for?
Hey, this is for Matt. So I want you to tell me your in detail very first sexual experience.
Shout out to Jess.
Jess,
nice little crowd here. People are very confused at our show. If this is your first time taking in Spiegel and Parkins,
it's hard to think all the way back to last week.
You're
really
a funny
is.
man.
Or 5 years ago, since
I don't know how
son
young
is 5.
this person is here at the first table, but you can think about that too.
Young enough for me to say can't do it.
Can't do it.
Jess, congratulations.
You're a coward.
I'm a coward. We have a live crowd, ladies and gentlemen, and sharing the details of
And they're
of
all
what happened
judging the hell out of
in
us.
the first week of freshman year of college is not something I want to share.
I think there's some sponsors here too, by the way. So
Well,
they're going to run fast.
I did
from
just
the show.
just release some timeline in my.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Xfinity, AZEC Building Products, and Office Revolution for making these amazing events happen.
We appreciate them.
Frank in Indy, you're on Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
This is for you, Parkins.
All right.
How much does your wife weigh?
How much does my wife weigh? Why do you care? I don't know, but I think like 115. I think. I'll stick with somewhere between 110 and 120. It's pretty skinny. I'll say 110 to 120, somewhere in there.
Gonna need proof, or else that guy wins a haircut.
Really?
No.
All right, we'll call back, Frank. I'm going to just have to say that that's good enough. Yeah. God, now I'm bummed that she's coming. Today, people are going to scout it out.
Oh, she is coming. That's good.
Yeah, she'll be here.
This is a good day. No, we're wearing nice shirts. We have a desk to sit in front of. It's a beautiful restaurant.
We look official.
Yeah.
Kind of.
As opposed to yesterday. Why didn't you tell me that I had a hair problem yesterday? I mean, it looked awful.
Coming from a guy like me?
I guess that answers
Coming
that.
from a guy like me? Come on now. Tony, who's your question for? You're on Can't Do It on the Spiegel and Parkins show.
This question's for Jay. You get the opportunity to fire both Parkins and Spiegel. You get 2 seats at every Hawks game for the next 10 years, seats of your choosing, or you sign a lifetime contract to work for them as their producer.
Challenge me. They're fired immediately.
Yeah, I can see that.
However, can I replace this gig? Which I love.
Yeah.
But, I can find something.
You said, no, you can stay producer of the shift,
Yeah.
you just have to fire us.
I am very used to working with new hosts.
Yeah.
And me too.
Right.
But yeah, you, Jay, you would just adjust on the fly. I'm surprised it even took you that long to come to an answer, actually.
It was about the quickest answer in Can't Do It history.
I was about
by
to
the
say
way.
yes when he said you could fire Spiegel and Parkins. Yes. Next caller.
Right. Yeah.
That
Is that a question?
that would have been a fine time to answer.
The callers are getting juvenile in this segment. Getting?
Yeah.
Is that
Well, no. It's there definitely is. I think the challenge is to actually listen to us, have conversation,
find where we get tripped up in something. We're like,
Right.
shouldn't say that.
show some vulnerability.
Yeah, and
Show,
then bring that up later.
like windows into the awkward conversations you and I sometimes have at 8:15.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they hear those, and then you chase that stuff down.
Yes.
That's the idea.
That's the strategic Can't Do It player.
Right. Or, you get as juvenile as you want and win yourself a haircut.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's go to Jesse in Champaign. Jesse, you're on Can't Do It. Who's your question for?
For Parkins.
Okay.
All right, since you're there with the live crowd, who in the live crowd is the ugliest one that you can see?
The ugliest in the crowd, huh? Ugliest in the crowd.
Brian Gertz is over there if you want to cop out.
Yeah, Brian Gertz isn't great. There's a waiter in the back who's all right.
I'm not technically in the crowd, for the record.
Yeah, you're not technically in the crowd.
Nor are you.
Bald dude with the World Series ring. I mean, where'd you get that ring, honestly? You're right in the front row. Spiegel, don't be embarrassed.
I don't think he's listening.
Hey, thank God.